Adeshima by Mamu Inachi and Mama Kwaba no pay Edmoba KFM TV Neso and dear Achi. Emre Assistant Sama Yabuano if you my Munano pay Ninia Ebesumo say non sumpe Mukasia Ewa KFM TV. So I no pay Mika will say Cassia boy you may be Ada Romano Mobo Michido Mammy de Ebesumo. Yet I said I cassia Ebequama talent microfinance and it will more airborne Padudona Musika same age 99 so and when Tisa ye and cranking you may sorry esuku for na mo pa bia e di musika esie anasa opesika e di ahye we adwum no talent microfinance nkwa ana medium ho adanse e di amomantam edu insia no talent for abom modern edu insia ne mo na edu na aka no mo egu so mo de hye pa egu kwa se wo betimi edu ho e di amo bibia sanso ana no pay ye di asedia psa e be kwa ma e dada bateka wo mo eton phones ene ho akade bia Infinix iPhone Samsung yam Techno, Itel, Nini, no dada ba take up, it will be Edmore. And your phone sinkwa, and who academy to say airport batteries, earpiece, Nini, no old winnie HM or dada ba take up, as ya, Ubenya sa, a phones, and who academy be a ho. One more air kaneshi, one monitor station, no ebe pay, one new branch, no, and so across central, and into bet me, a corner, you phone say, ya papa, ni bonus, so eda form. Eye boko sa enso na auto phone na warranty that's no ade a esuye papa penunti se auto phone no na anche bia information no how kaka biba ho no utimi esan e de koda da ba take abaka chi no mahwe aka ho asem e de ama anope wo mo so ebo mechidom ma me de kase boy me de ebe so mo san so ana KFM Musical Center enso eto instrument bia say combo guitar microphone speaker ni ano KFM Musical Center ebenya bi ediama obo anan kopi mu asantemantema wo mo ewedum wo mo ne Sambra Hotel no ana ebon hwenim anope dwumeko we ana mo bo mechido ma me de kase boy me de ebe so mo kenkan fa wotimi nken edi a meje so ene Maame Esi Nkrumah me dane me ho sima ba me ba nsem ne doso na me hyase ediama me ba Ebusia for me gusua ema mwakwaba eda mwasisa no pe mu guso etimu TV no ho amohwe eye KFM TV anopa no so pe mu kase no na nsem no edoso na de ebedi mu akotini ebi eni eye Kofi Akpalo endedwe abetodwa se iyokofo abefa no ede akotwe wo mo akache mu nsem na no pe ye de ebeba abeso mo sa enso so anna mama Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the day a procreation sound quantimpo no a dia wa bekasa e di afahwa ye di munsem eno si ye di ebeba besum ye di dwede nsem enso beka ho e di ama Ghana inflation and the day abetodwa say a drop e kodo 11.5% wo August busumi emo ye di munchemo enso ye beba besum ye di nigede nsem enso beka ho e di ama Mobad a wenya ni baby kono ni ba be ma no the day abetodwa say court ashe say koya abofrey eye DNA test ne betimi atwese ampampa woye Mobad ba anase wonye ne ba weni nsem ene afofro pi anope yabo ano amede ebeso mo se no nsumpa mu kase wo KFM TV no so nsem no anope mi hyase de ama odia eye onmonyamfo Kofi Akpalo woye presidential candidate na wo sign di eye Liberal Party of Ghana no LPG amenyuko no wono ana woda anonendedwe abetodwa se economic and organized crime office yokofo abefa no akotwe wo mo ekukuma wo mo chesende wo mo the final statement anienti a wo mo eche papai wo mo de beba betodwa mo bibia ehu emunsemi ne ora Akpalo ya de obone humodin papapa ewo my Ghana ha afimpinu ni eye eduonu nan abato etu ye wo my Ghana no anosi akan edema LPG amenyuko no Liberal Party of Ghana no wono anosi akan ede momo a enkuko etime ekode momo nendedwe ana yokofo ede abetudwa mo chese wo yade a wo mabefa no akotwe eye wo mokukuma wo betoto na no ede afa nsem ba akumienu ehonu tinsemwe ana ededwe efri yokofo akachi a KFM TV yes ye de be ebe somo ye to ansem ne so edwo akonsem from dia eya kweti by election e de hye so e was September bosume ne da eto so mienu e wa fifinu ni edu no eye enum no ebe to odwa sa abato ne mu no eye NDC amenu ko no ora Bernard bedi akon wo no anankunim de kese etimi ekoma no e wa abato na wie ye mu ne no ana ode nsem bi abetudwa wo chem se ukosi akan ede ama eye constituency bia eno enye kasa bebeba obeka nemom ewo se wutimi hu de nkrofo no mo pe wutimi be mo na woni omo twetwe nkomo na hu no ma bia wo mo pe ansa wetimi etusa na mo no ne ye so keke enkosi akan enfa ma meni okobi eye Bernard bedi akon nsema wodi tudwa na no pe meto aso ede ama.
So the government took a decision to now, because GCD may not be working now, but the community should survive. So we had to disconnect and put new lines all through. It took 3 months, day and night. They worked, and that was way before the by-election. Nobody even knew anybody would pass. We did that and got them connected. So if there is a by-election subsequently, what do you think the people will do? Chief, this is it. You can do your checks. So if you are going into an election, you should find out what the people want. It's not about sympathy. The people are in darkness. You are telling them their MP is late, so they should give it to a party person. Why didn't you give the candidature to the wife or his brother? Do you relate to the candidate? So why are you making the people feel as if they don't even know or understand what they want? But we didn't do it. If we wanted to deceive the people, we would have seen the machines all over. But that's not what happened. What the chiefs requested, even that, we didn't provide for all the requests they did. They said, at least as for this one, do it for us before we go. And we tried to find the middle ground, and then we went there to do some little things to help.
Enunti eye bedi akon eye beidu Bernard sesia wono ano ye mrahye bedwani edemade hye ya wo mu ewa akwetia abato mpeswa so wono ano de nsemwe abetudwa na nsem ni wan fensi ho a wosan editudwa bi ma wo che se NPP amani okuno eye abato ene akensi a omkoye ina no eye 90% no wo mo rely ewo sympathy eso enunti anantwo kese we etime ekomo mwandedwe womo edi nkuko ewa abato no emone nsema wosan editudwa na no pay meto aso edi amount.
So the connection is where the government of the day comes in. This is my government. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is in my party. The number of MPs, cabinet ministers are MPs who would be in my caucus when elected. So it is easier to get things done through that angle than go for an opposition MP who would not also have the connection. So these two messages were put to them. That is our message. DS was about 85% or even 90%, all about sympathy. Your cameras were around. Why would you even do a poster and put our late brother's picture behind the image as though he's your running mate? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? But well, this was their campaign strategy. 90% about sympathy. So the people didn't hear what they wanted to hear.
Bernard eye beidu ne sema odi tudwa eni wosan edit tudwa bioma wo che se okopie mu ewa akwiti asesi a ohaw ene wo mkodanda kese ba kwa ewo ho eye nnuma eno nti se okogina anase ulusi abato ewo ho a ewo se otimi bom humode na oni omkotwetwe nkomo na hu no ma bi e ha omo ene no ma bi a etimi ema wudi nkuko we no eno ade bi a ehu hia ye papa papa nti MPP amenu ko na wo se samre omutimi ebom humode na nka omosan kwa akwiti ho no mo ne timemufo na ho no ekotwetwe nkomo eno ma bi a ha omo ene no ma bi a omu hia betimi aboa ameho etimi tumpon no ma hwe no ma ka ho asem ede amom ne sama oside tudwa no ano KFM TV yeto aso ede amom.
So the major issue is with jobs. Most of our youth are unemployed, and it's because you know the Akwetia is known for mining. GCD over the last years, I mean several years before John Dramani Mahama came to power, has been, I mean, almost grounded. But you see, even always in the run-up to the 2024 elections, they were even in darkness. And GCD is a whole community. There are about 5 different towns within that enclave. So they were all in darkness, telling you they were without electricity. They had been cut from the national grid, disconnected. President Mahama at the time, as candidate, Mahama came to Akwete and we told him that this is the situation. So he said, when you lose election, go down and find out why you lost and stop. You see, if the people of GCD now voted the way they did, whom do you blame? In your government, they were in darkness. John Mahama came, and then the first month, even when he didn't have ministers, we, some of us, went to him, and then we told him that this is the problem, His Excellency. We had made a promise that he would restore it. So we went to remind him, and he instructed that it be done. We had to fix different lines because the old lines, what happened was that the communities were connected to the company. So once the companies, and they were taking power from the company.
Ebusiafo enu nti semwe anamrahye bedwane a wogina dem adehye ya wo mu ewo akwetia abaton peswa so eye onmonyam for Bernard Beidu wode etu dwema woni semtwofo hia woni wo mo etwetwe nkomo ye to ansem ne so de ama odi amrahye bedwane a wo New Jabe South abaton peswa so Michael Ochrebefi wono so de abetudwa wo chim se eye 2028 abatwa ide be hyehyɛ so wo my Ghana ha no se vote buy no to aso ewo my Ghana ha wono enya ade a obegina de ama ade hye ya wo mo ewo New Jabe South abaton peswa asesan se vote buy no eno ade bia koso ye papa ewo my Ghana ha wono da wo dwene ho a wonte ase wo chese wo September bosumini da etosumie no ewo 2025 emu abato a ye de hyehyɛ so metwe by election de hyehyɛ so ewo my Ghana ha no NDC amenu ko na wo mu se wo mo ana mu di nkunim ewa abato no emu ne momo no de wo si ne bo akase vote buy no ade a koso ye papa ewo my Ghana ha kopie mu ewo akwetia NDC amenu ko no mo bɔ mo homode ne akyɛde de wo mu di bi matememu fo ne ye papa wo mo eche omade se na ebe ya abato ne mu no wo metimi ato aba de ama wo no de ode sobo na ebo NDC amenu ko no se wo mo nkunima wo mu di ye no ade a vote buy ene course o kwa nipa dodo na se wo mo saka 500 Ghana cedis ebi musunya 1000 Ghana cedis na ebe ya wo metimi ato abai de ama na kopi mu police station ho a nipa dodo na se sa sika wo mo nsa eka bi ebi mo chiche hair dryer ne noma bi ekeka ho ni nia ekabo ma wo no de o chese vote buy ne sa se ekoto abai hu hia se obai bi se de amatime mofo no ansa motimi ato aba de amo enunti esi ade wo chese 2028 abato ebeto ewo my Ghana ha no wo de se vote buy no to aso ewo my Ghana ha wo no enya ade obesi akan de ama ade hye ya wo mo ewo New Jabe South abato mpeso aso wo no obesi akan de ama mbiem ne sema wode abetudwan ana KFM TV anope ye de bi abesomo ye to asem ne so edo akonsem from there Asante Regional Minister Dr. Frank amakohene anope wono so de abetudwa wo chim se eye privilege kese so ye bebuno ewo my Ghana ha obetimi abom homode na waye adwuma de asomo man wono de sa de break kese we kita no no wonu ne hu de biara da no won dandwe ho so se wo begyan de ato won adwuma e wo so ye no wonye wacha se a privilege akwanya kase edma ne se wo betimi asom ne my Ghana ne se ma odi tu dwan anope ye to aso ediamo.
It's a privilege to get the opportunity to serve Ghana and for that matter Ashanti region at a very young age.
Right.
So it's an opportunity I don't want to take for granted. And I want to do it to the best of my ability so that you have more reasons to include the youth in leadership. The reason for which you see me attending to almost every problem. This is directly what he needs me to do in the region. All he told me was that make me proud. So at any point in time, when I need to take any major decision, I just need to consult him. At times he asks of, what do you think? You are in charge of that, what do you think? Then I run it by him. Once he's okay with that, I just go ahead and implement it to the best of my ability.
Enunti Asante Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amwakonhene sema odi tudwa emra woni semtwofo twa etwetwe nkomo no ananope KFM TV yeso ye de bi abesom na etu ansem ne so de akwo insemfufo mu dia eye pokiase nsawom ofanko kwantimpo na eye na nsemu ha driver for dodo na echese omo hwe na omebe ya akwan no emfa mo no ende dua betodwa se wɔn etua sika emu edruye papa de ama contractors ahodo a wɔn ehwe saa kwan na wɔn di dwuma wɔ so sɛ wɔn fa nsiesie kwan no ɛfa ma obi bia ɛwɔ man Ghana ha na no ɛna ndra da Ghana man panyin His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ɛbɔ ne homɔden ekopie mu ɛwɔ fankonsa wɔm ɛyɛ kwantempɔn ne so project kɛse a ɛkɔ so hɔ no wɔbanan ekopie mu hɔ sɛ ne bɛ a wobetumi ahwɛ na edwuma no akɔ so pɛpɛɛpɛ hɔ ne mra okodu hɔ no ana odin sem bebre na etudwa wo chem se saa ekwan we saa project we a moye na aban dada etwemu no meche the New Patriotic Party ene mampani dada na adodanko ekufa do ma omote so no eye ade a omokwaji loan e de ma saa ekwan wo no de onti asese loan bebre ba omokwaji ye na wo ntimi enwie saa kwan no amfa ma eye timemu fa omo ho na wo no waba wasan ebetua sika emu eduye papa de ama contractor se wo monsan fanye adwuma ewo pokua sensa kwantempɔ no so na saa sika de wetua de ama contractors na mum ade a wobɛbɔ ne homode ahwɛ aye hwehwɛmu ye papa de afa saa sika pudo a NPP amenuoko no ekɔgye de fa saa kwan no ho wobɛyɛ hwehwɛmu ye papa de afa ho Ghana man pani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne nsɛm a ɔde tu dwa no eni.
There's a major arterial road in the country because it connects the two biggest cities in Ghana. And so any challenges with this contract affect a huge number of commuters because of the heavy traffic that passes through here. And so we were quite concerned about the complaints that were coming from the traveling public. And so we are happy to see that the traffic is flowing. But what I say to contractors is, yes, we know you have work to do, but one of your duties too is site management, to make sure that your work does not impede the flow of traffic. So you must make adequate arrangements so that even while you're working, you are creating the conditions for traffic to flow. I can understand what happened. A loan was taken for this project, and I don't understand why the money is finished and the project is not over, and that we're having to come and pay supplementary almost 78 million from government of Ghana funds. So that's something that we need to find out what really happened. How come the loan that was taken was not enough? Was it that the estimate for the project was not done properly, or what happened? But I can see that drivers are happy now, and I hope that from now till when you finish the project, you maintain a smooth flow of traffic even as you're working, so that you don't impede the flow of traffic. So we'll hold you to your word. You say by end of second quarter next year, you should be finished. Okay, so after the exhaustion of
same way and Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wadi to Jemma Wobana ekopie mu ewo fankon sam eye kwantempon project kesi a wo mo no mo adan ekopie mu ewo ho ne mra wode ne nsem bewie ye no ana san ede nsem we ekoma contractor wo di ekwan ho dwuma na wo kyese wono de wo hye ne se ekwan a wode sika pudo amani wo mo hwe na enimanimu yi a wo mo nwie kwan no emfa mo ne mo enye se wo mo nwie ni ntamti na okoto materials bia endi mu anase ensem fata want to quality materials no fanye adwuma se ne be ya kwan no ebetimi egina so ye papa no no de o ma no eye from endra na okopie mu ho no wo ma na to eye afifu fry besim no 2026 mu no June sa deadline no ana ode ma ne se won hwe na sa kwan we won fan wie bibia emfa ma na ya de owi a wo bebo na ba so ye papa ne se ma wo san edit to dwa no no pay meto aso edi amo.
We moved this contract onto the Big Push program, and enough provision has been made for the Big Push projects. Yeah, this year we have about 14 billion cedis, and next year we have another 30 billion cedis. So I think that there will be sufficient resources to keep contractors going. So as government commits to pay you well, you too must commit to move faster on the road and also use quality materials. One of the major problems with road contractors in this country is the quality of material. And so you build the road, after a short while, the road starts to deteriorate. And so, I mean, your company is one of the well-known road construction companies in Ghana, and so we hope that this will be a mark of the quality of your brand.
And in some way, Anna Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Wade Abetuja Ehosa Yejinani Semiso na ye try one kwadia boafon krato abayeba nsem edoso na no pay metwaso ediamo.
Yo, I'm for and I am Makwaba at the bar, a KFM musical shopper. The Tosumi, no, who free a Kumasa Macom that Damono, a sunny at the bar at Dumino, Sabran Udu, a Sambra Junction, a Sambra Hotel in Quantana Sope. Now shop on any Sambra Hotel and the Dinsha anymore. Would the free Sambra Hotel, a wool sunny at the cop, Nankane and Hagan Hono, Annie, a hot and a KFM musical shop. The Tosumi, no, yet be no fofro. Now the air can say, if you papa etimiche, the Odea sorry, the Ode grow agro ahudo. Juma de be a woody over here a young fiddy musical instrument piano, a KFM into a say Ghana Muntie Asante Mai Muntie, a KFM musical shop, Anna Sabre Yabia no fofro Monochai, a war Premper the second street. We free old men come down and now sunny a day called a dumino and Udu Sambra Hotel Quantana so now what done on Sunny Faso a hot announce KFM musical shop ye a walk Yanni Sambra Hotel and a anymore ya chow abribia
Gran Messi Sir may you proud and I say may you jar ne free Kumasi KFM instrument store. Obi bisa sa se bomen fo de what to ma woni si da what de niam papa e gina wanim na what to no say yes what to no bibi aka wakoma ni nyina free KFM instrument store Kumasi Adum se mi gina ho na me to no ma bitimi nya ho me ka fi se fidi papa mu anim na mi gina no wo be try ye ko ma ya do se kana twananka kana ensamfu ayi.
Medo bena mi Ghana duko do ajakle ho duko kata. Mi echo nyanya de vena mi cho Talent Microfinance Limited Gajarupa. Mi e wona susu savings, adishare, school buafo, cashback, ple bubua okata. Nenya be egajom de mi agbo la letie to megbeko. Aten aho gadodo kenenya be egajom vivi la nenya be o gahia ola aten wava ava de o gai kenehia fa
tanenya be mi foncho mi afa jom yo kenya mi afa gadodo nyawa business loan elemiashi church finance elemiashi salary loan elemiashi eye bubo li kenya personal loan nenya be mi foncho business loan enye gadodo ikemie nana asichalao nenya be washigba keke alum eleswe we have talent mi pepe gede nwo nenya washigba leswe ne woge wo keke gede ji to talent pomo nuome nenya be mi foncho mi afa salary loan enye gado mo mi kemi vuna mi afa jirudu dola nke ga nyo he ya va talent wo pay slip pe bank statement ye kwenye nwi here na koko ho salary loan le rate nwe to keke akeji church financier personal loan va nenye habobo masoli hama eji fufofo sankuo jitao olila ashibobwe keke ake mi aflege no na no hem v choji nto jinwade vare kwereka mo popo kai ganyu heya talent kuna kpohe ya ole chagbagba na do tare talent bena wo gado mo wa anobobo enami apenami
etibe ya nyafi ke talent la
Talent Microfinance Jengo Amegan Shipe Ape Letina Tejipo Hotame
mi ape kapomo enya 050-129-1298 alo 050-128-9119 talent oga kwamanu kwanto
getting order.
Talent Microfinance, your channel of wealth.
Ebusuafo egusu a emama kwaba edamo asesa no pay mugusu etimo TV ho amohwe eye no so mpe mo kase ewo KFM TV ne so mekoso eka wo se kase boy echego ewo abefo ntentam fidie ne so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV GH and to betimi akohwe bi no wa share na wa like na wa dwenche no so de egu ase amame kama no pay me to ansem ne so edi amamodi Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama mra wo ye campaign ahodo ewo my Ghana hano the key initiative back or the buying say what the 24-hour economy ebeba eno ebeboa ma nyuma dodo na wo metimi around side way my Ghana ha unemployment adoso no ano ebetimi abrase edi amaye na no anende do GH schools edi abetu jo mo chese 24-hour economy no wo muso maso mu se twetwe asese ade wo mo alanche my Ghana ha no ebeboa ama vocational any training skills no etimi akoso ye papa edi abo my Ghana ema nipa dodo na enso etimi enya ejuma aye my Ghana enu ntende endrada ana GH schools womo elanche 24-hour economy policy womo elanche wo school mo chese se na be ya wo metimi aboa ama unemployment ado so my Ghana hano ano abrasinti ano mo so womo aso ade mu twetwe a womo de ebeboa wo my Ghana nti semwe ana efrige schools ano pe KFM TV yanso ye de bi abesomo ewo sa ye to ansem ne so ede wo akonsem frofro mu de du kopie mu ewo Savannah region Savannah Regional Security Council ade a womo engage authorities ahodo a womo ewo Cote d'Ivoire so womo bom homode ma sunje mapa entimi empie mu heye menteme ho ase amane ho me so no womo emboa ma sa ade no ano entimi embrace emfa mo bibia ewo ho sa ne sema anope Savannah Regional Security Council womo de abetudwa no meto aso ede amon.
We are very happy that the authorities are able to receive them very well and to give them some support to be making them comfortable. Of course, it's a temporal situation. The authorities of Ghana are working to overcome the situation that led to they relocating themselves to Cote d'Ivoire. And on the basis of which we want to strengthen that relationship between Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, and also ensure that some of these issues, when it does happen, there are security challenges. The possibility of people moving from Cote d'Ivoire to Ghana to have a reprisal attack, or people moving from Ghana to still continue the attack in the territory of Cote d'Ivoire is high. And therefore, we need to collaborate between these two countries and our civil agencies to ensure that no miscreant crosses the border to be able to do something unthinkable. This is the reason why we have come to build a further and stronger relationship between the two authorities for us to be able to overcome the challenges that we are facing.
Okay, nous sommes donc venus à Bouna. We have gone to Bonkoro. There are several other communities that we are told along the Black Altar that they are located. Would liaise with our Ivorian authorities. Thankfully, my colleague, the president of the Bonkan region, the MP for Bona, and then the president of the prefect of Bona, they'll be able to move to 8 or so of the communities, many more yet to move to. We will collaborate and ensure that whatever support that we are having, we will make sure it gets to the authorities and they can appropriately ensure that the people get the facilities and make life comfortable. They are working very hard to give that kind of
support. And Savannah Regional Security Council penny for Mode Abetujana no pay KFM TV. Yes, we had to be a best some way to answer so edo a concept from there. A paramount chief and a president edema a 30 traditional council a gbecholu ni ashite a akomfra our tosu miensa wono ano de abetuja watches ɛyɛ homowo afasha ye nuanum kanfo mu die ɛwɔ nkramantem ha sei no wo mo kire se emra na kpekure no wo mo sprinke no eno enam so mabasabasa bi esi ya eno nam so manipa bese miensa de wo mo efa so eto ananan ɛwɔ nsiedo a dodo na eno so wo mo prepare a wo mo egu ayaresabia wo mo eje ayarehwe ɛwɔ mai Ghana ha na eno ana odi abetudwa wo chim se saade na esi ye no wono de wa condemn a wo chese eno enya adepa eno ti sesi ade wo de yakokese pa na ekwama wo mo a mo hwere wo mo nkwa no wode kwama mo abusua se wo mo hyeden na ono sesi ade wo ye hwehwemu ye papa de afasa asemu ento bibia enka na koma ento ne yem na sa akwanhia we esiye ewo August bosmeni da etoso eduono nsia ewo afimpinu ni eduono enum emra eye nkanfo no wo mpekule sprinking no ekoso ewo nkramantem ha se ne ho ana sa adwumedie we esiye no enam so ema nipa bese miensa de wo mo fa so eto ananan ewo nsiedo a eno ayare hosem ye papa ewo my Ghana no nti semwe ana ye nuanom kranfo yi enda no pay wo mode abetudwa KFM TV yeso ye de bi ebe somo ewo san semwe na omo chem semra eye akwanhia ne siye no mbebu na wo mo ho no wo mo ana mo mo ho so a wo mo ema asaba sebese ye esiya mpenifo echemu se sesi ade omuguso a wo mo eye nhwehwemu ede afa asem no nti sene asem no bekwa kodu bia wo mbebo mhomode ama eye ebusuafo no wo mo nso wo mo nsa etimi aka bi na wo maso enso etimi sene asihye ni beko bia no wo mbehwe na wo mo de ato wo pepepe ede amoma nti semwe anateshi traditional council anope wo mo so wo mo de abetudwa ede bi ebesom yeto ansem ne so ede wo akonsem from anope dia Ghana National Fire Service ede abetudwa mo chese endrada okopie mo awo asofa eye market ben Westelsa wo mo chem se eja hihye bi ekoso ho aye market no eja etimi to ho a eno eye arehosem ye papa wo mo chese eye ahomache bese 12 eye 13 am anade we esi ya mo bom homodin efre eye amasaman aje kotoku ana anyas station eye wo mo fire service ahodo ho no wo mu ina hebo dompem ekopie mo ha wo mo hwema eja no ano etimi ebrase ne no ana Ghana National Fire Service wo mo so wo mo etimi abekasa ede afasa asem wo mo chese se eja hihye ekoso no ade ano edin ye papa no nti wo se Ghana ye na etimi boye homodin na yetimi eso adewe ya na mra eja na hihye no na KFM TV yeso yetwa yetwe ye cameras ne ade kopie mo ho a yede emu nsem yede ebro Enuti eye ndrada obon humodi kopie mu ewo asofa a ewo nkramantem ha eye wo mu market edwade bia eho no eho aneja etimi to mu wo ho asesi ade omosre Ghana penifo se de ato omuni enuti omu ntwa omuni fa embehwe omu na hihye bia eho no omu fa endumo nti semwe anaye de ebesom megina so na amadane me ho sima ba me ba me de nsem no ekọ edwade emu
Fraba ejaso ni o yanom ehyen a en use fuel we so yensesa oil ne wo hia ene ni key ehyen egumechi nyina eye lip moto Giomi anase nami eyemu bia won sabeka wo KFM Limited ewo Ghana ha lip moto abefo cancer abi yanom emwedene sanso efe wa hwe interiors here ka here me timusi si ya ne ye friend lip moto ewo 3 modes of driving obetimi switch so open temo a obe na sports mode so person will save you battery obetimi use economy mode na so pentem na wo pe normal riding so a your friend standard wo charge your battery within 6 hours a ebetumi di wakokumasi aba metre 310 kilometers enti woni how obetumi so the 3 hours fast charger a charge na na you full bonama na wakokumasi aba say no me en try the aka no Giomi ya wo hia ne key make sure say key ne ben wa wo hwese na interior on it na black and white papa so no FSN yo wa hwe screen tentin e bo ma hu car no battery aka na ma hu mileage nso e wo so we so de etu kwan 320 kilometers and sana was charge we bet me a charge in 6 hours fast charger 3 hours abefu efidie yenso ubetimi a drive no in 3 modes a standard sports and na say economy so we pentem to say me a yanom choose sports what say ubetimi to quite hakoko base ama battery ni bi so aka because a 320 kilometers we charge in 6 hours ubetimi nya full battery now when you fast charge and so 3 hours per your set making sure so okay in the car oh yes I work him Ubi a door na start. Chili Giobi, black and white. Makuma swat. Man san cow dear. You check the akana. Yeah, no. Abe for the any muba kunio. The awiano key. Making sure sa key in a ben when yes I work him. We no F. Let a new woman sit down. A grey no one who do me, you know. The any hakakra, any dear mood. As also was screens me, you know. Wait, amount information and we are can in winning. Answer Bessie Bonum Papa, your friend entertainment, the Awiano, Anne. And that's over to me, so I drive in 3 modes just like the others. Standard, and I say sports. So open them up. Car way so. A bet to me to Kwaya Kokumasiaba 330 kilometers. Which am I would do crowd to make Jesus on one young kakra and Sunday do. Which are then 6 hours, sir. No. So bet to me, so charging 3 hours. No fast charge. And you know when you know KFM Limited and they are big just so fraying near me on Sanka what the intentem. So open installments, a high purchaser and train one nase. We've got you solid. Yanume on Sabechimia Fidie Mubia and KFM Limited. On Sabeke Fidie no which Yanon Kakra. Wait, unyano bebia, a GKFM Limited. Fraying, ever sort out.
Yo, I'm on for and I am Makwaba at the bar, a KFM musical shopper. The Tosumi, no, who free a Kumasi Malcolm that Damono, a sunny at the bar at Dumuno, Sabran Udu, a Sambra Junction, Sambra Hotel in Quantana Sope. Na shop no any Sambra Hotel and the din hwe animo wo di free Sambra Hotel a wo sane e de ko nankane en Hagan ho no ane oho ana KFM musical shop de toso mienu ya bie ne foforo na de e kan ne se emfidie papa etimi che de wo de ya sorry de wo de goro agoro ahodo juma de bia wo de obehia eye mfidie me kire musical instrument bia no eye KFM ento wo se Ghana muntie Asante mai muntie eye KFM musical shop ana sabre ya bie no foforo mu no chan ewo prempe the 2nd street wo free old man come down na wo sane ede ko adum no ane udu Sambra Hotel kwantane so na wa dane on sanifa so oho ana KFM musical shop yi ewo ye ne Sambra Hotel ana ehwe animo ye twa abrebia
General Messi se may I proud and I say may you jar me free Kumasi Edun KFM instrument store obi bisa say bo me fo dia what to ma woni si da what dey near my papa e gina wonim na what to ma say yes what to no bibi aka wakoma ni nyina free KFM instrument store Kumasi Edun sɛ megyina hɔ na meto nnwom a metumi nya ahomeka fi sɛ mfidi papa mu anim na megyina no wobɛtena yɛkɔ ma yɛde wo sika na adwa nanka ka na ewu ɛnsɛmfo ayi
Ebufia for me guswa eka o se no so pe mo kase etwego ewe abefo ntentam fidie ne so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV channel to betime ahwe bi no wa share na wa like na wa dwenche no so die gu ase ama me kama no pay edwade nsem ana edru so na Ghana ban e de abetudwa wode kokobo we kwama eye multi choice Ghana operations a watch say was September boss me da etoso nsia no so mo ahwe na wo mo price no mo antete so a what the tabno kese ebeto omosone no ana Minister for Communication on monyam for Sam na te George ejina Ghana aban enima what this ansem we na ebeto dwa wo chese already no wo mo di 150,000 fine ana de ato wo mo so a mo chese wo delay ye eye nhye bia wo ne wo koye no wo mo delay wo chese so mo ahwe no mo anya eye 10,000 Ghana cedis ana no so eda so a eye bosum bia wo mbehwe no mo tua e de kan musika no nti wo chese sesi ade wo mo have Messi ewo bia semre ne so no mo ahwe anya de mpenifo hwehwe form ho a wo mo de tab no ebeto mo so ewo man Ghana ha.
I think about 15 or 16 days ago, I met with MultiChoice and imposed a 10,000 CD daily fine on them. I think so now they owe us about 150 to 170,000 Ghana cedis. The NCA will collect. They have up to the 6th. If by the 6th there is no resolution, we will shut down operations of MultiChoice TV. No company, no corporate entity is more powerful than the collective interest of the Ghanaian people. That much I would serve notice. Hopefully tomorrow, I will make a formal announcement from the ministry. Last night, a team from MultiChoice reached out and they've made some proposals. We've asked for further concessions to be made. I've given them up to close of day today. By tomorrow, I'll make an announcement. But there is every possibility that we will see some resolution to this matter before the 6th of September. But I can assure you of one thing, as your minister, no company will hold Ghanaians to a ransom. The desire of the Ghanaian people, which is to see a reduction in the bouquet prices, will be achieved.
I don't think Minister for Communication Monyam for Sam na te George wono anodin same way abeto je gusua ewe dwede nsem ni mu dia abeto dwa say Ghana ye inflation no e ade a etimi ate ekodo 11.5% wo August busumi emu no mu chese wo July busumi mu no na Ghana ye inflation no ejina 12.1% na sesi ade etimi ate ebedo 11.5% a eye August busumi ye mu no ana ye inflation no etimi a drop esa wo mu chese eno eye 8 consecutive monthly eye decline no eno anomode eho ensem abetudwa ewo sa mu hwe nim se ebetimi akonenim ye papa e de abane mum no August busumi mu no inflation baby a ekodru no eno eye 11.5% no
for August 2025. The key figure here is that inflation for August 2025 was 11.5%. This means that prices today are 11.5% higher than they were in August 2024. Most importantly, it is an 8th consecutive month of decline and the lowest inflation we've observed since October 2021. In July, inflation was 12.1%, and in December, inflation was 23.8%. So you can see that there is a sharp downward trend with regards to inflation movements. That shows a sustained easing of price pressures. On month basis, we've seen prices fall by 1.3% between July and August 2025. This means that households paid less in August than they paid last month. The steady drop in inflation is reassuring, but the monthly swings we are seeing reminds us that we need to keep watch on inflation, particularly short-term movements, and ensure that policies addressing inflation continue to be stable and sustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, I now want to look at some of the key components of inflation. So the question is, the August inflation of 11.5%, what are the key breakdown with regards to food and non-food, import and locally produced items, goods and services, and then possibly inflation at the regions? Food inflation was 14.8%, down slightly from 15.1% in July. Food remains the largest driver of inflation, and it contributes more than half to the inflation figure we are seeing in August. In fact, for some time now, food inflation has contributed more than half to inflation. So what this means is that once you're able to fix issues surrounding food inflation, then by and large, you're able to actually tackle inflation in Ghana largely. On month-on-month basis, we saw food prices actually drop, and they dropped by 2.5%. What does this mean? So what this means is that between July and August 2025, the prices of food dropped by 2.5%. So even though the food component in the basket is very high, we've seen, and of course inflation has dropped from July to August, but we've also seen that prices themselves, and this time not inflation, I'm emphasizing prices themselves, have dropped between July and August, and they've dropped by 2.5%.
Adeshman Benunti ejina sansem we so na edi edwade ensem no aba na wiye na madane me ho sima aba me ba me de ensem no eko enegedie emu. Yedo ekweni jediense mudia eye magistrate court amu Ikurudu ewo Lagos State no womo de abetudwa mu HMC si ade o ma hyese eye Ghana Nigeria nyumtuni wanya ne baby ko eye Mohbad ne babema ayefre ni se Liam eye Aluba no womo enkoye DNA test ebetimi achesa mpampa woye Mohbad eba anase wonye ne ba na eye nsemwe eye Mohbad ankasa ni papa wono ana wahyese womo enkoye Mohbad eba bema eye Liam Aluba no womo enkoye ne DNA test se ne betimi akonfirm se ampampa eye Mohbad moja anase enye ni moja na eye nsemwe eye September bosumini de tosumi no ewa afimpinu ni ediono ennumo ana womo de sankrate eba montinima eye application na Free Joseph eye Aluba Singai eye ne papa ho ano de sankate ekopi mu ewo magistrate court ewo Ikurudu ewo Lagos State no wode ekomo mo se womo enhye se Liam womo nkoye ne DNA test enhye se papa eye Mohbad ba anase enye ne ba na enu pe ne betimi eye ade a confirm ede amomo no de pepeye ana open emum enye se wo pen papa mu anantiti mu bi de bi wopeso ohun se ampampa eye Liam a yesusu se woye Mohbad ba no wopeso ohun se ampampa ye ne ba anase enye ne ba no nti semwe ana ndedwe Free Lagos mine mu meche Nigeria ye de ebeso mu se ne gede ensem ewa no pa no so pa mu kase no emu ye gina so na no pensem no medini nia aba na wiye na no pensem no na edosu ye papa ye de asida kese ebekwa ma ya boafo KFM Musical Center Dada Bate Cap and a Talent Microfinance womo ano mo bo me twi do ma me de kase boy me de ebeso mo na nsem no de edi mo akotini ebi ene se de dwe abetodwa se Kofi Akpalo ya de Economic and Organized Crime Office yokofo abefa no e de akotwe wo mo ekukuma mo betoto na no e de afa nsem ba kuminu eho sa enso so ana Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebwanan ekopie mo ewo fankon sawom kwantimpo a mo de ahye contractors nsa wachi mu se emran pipi ameni okonetus no mu kwaji loan e de fa sa kwan we hu na mu mo hu bebi asika no e fa no no de obeye nhwehwemu ye papa e de afasa asika no ide mu nsem ye de ebesum ye de dwede nsem enso ka ho edma abetodwa se Ghana ye inflation no etimi adrop e kodo 11.5% e wo against bosume emu ide mu nsem eno so ye de ebesum ye de ni de nsem e ka ho edma eye mu bad ne baba my friend is Liam no and they do a court ashe say wo mo enkoye ni DNA test enhwe sampapa eye ne ba anase nye ne ba we ne nsem ne afofo pi anope ye bo ano idbeso mo se no nsumpe mo kase e wo KFM TV so ye bedo bibia asese mo gibre etina mo TV ho hwe ye da production team ni na so asese anope o mo so e bo ai ma ye de kase bo ye de ebeso mo kin kan fa anope wo temi kan edin ameje so ene Maame Esi Nkrumah yakra mo ina.